one, I just wanted to kind of like ask you, like, what do you have like beef with? What is it? What's the beef you got with the Bible? I guess let's start there.
Have you read the Bible?
Yeah.
And I don't. I'm not asking this sarcastically, but I mean, you wouldn't have like the slightest clue or a hint why somebody wouldn't want the Bible being taught or not. You know what I mean? Like the Bible's hateful. You wouldn't have the slightest clue.
Well, I mean, if it's talking about the human condition and it's trying to teach us something, then yeah. I mean,
Right, but
ultimately,
right, but
there was a
there's got
relationship.
there had to be a more loving, easier way to teach us things instead of mentioning, babies being thrown in a river and I, the Lord, said, slay the infants. That's overboard insanity. Like that's not called for. There's no need for that.
I see where you're coming from. Here's the problem that I have is that like when Moses came down, right, from the mount and he had the tablets, he saw his people, they were worshiping a golden calf, right? And what were they calling that calf?
I'm not sure.
They were calling him Yahweh.
Okay.
That's the first pointer, right? Then
Well,
we have
real quick though,
yeah.
ain't this the part where none of the witness got to go up to the mountain and see either? Like they was kept at bay for some weird reason.
Yeah, only Moses could go up. I
That's what I'm
mean,
saying.
regardless of that.
Just that
Yeah.
right there alone, that's what I mean. It's full of stuff that just doesn't make any sense at all.
Well, first off, it'd be pretty tough having all those people trying to climb up that mountain. I mean, you
Yeah,
got to
but
feed the
yeah,
people,
but
you got
Moses
to
did it right.
give them water. Yeah, he did it.
Right. So I mean, somebody else could give it a try. They want to go see this because wasn't God at the top of the mountain?
Yeah, he gave them the he gave them the tablets.
Right.
Yeah.
I would want to go see that too. There's no reason why I can't go see it.
Well, yeah, I mean, you could bring the whole crowd with you, but like I said, you have to feed them, you have to give them water. Most of them will be crying and complaining because they don't have, steaks and whatever they were doing before that when they were in the desert. They were given manna and they were
Yeah,
complaining they wanted to go
but
back to
again, though,
sleep.
it is kind of silly that all those people were held back and one person got to go. That's what I'm saying, man. That's
I mean, yeah. I mean, hey, I see where you're coming from.
and then
I
you
do.
said God
I see
gave
what you
the
mean.
Ten Commandments. I mean, those commandments again. I'm going off the claims. If that God was
Right.
all intelligent and all loving, all powerful, those commandments didn't come from this God. That's obvious that it was from some man who
Yeah.
just didn't know left from right.
I'm looking at it from okay. Let's just look at the narrative of the Old Testament first, all right? Because like I'm just trying to give my perspective. I'm not trying to change your mind or anything.
No, you're good, man.
So like ultimately, you got God's covenant with His people, and then you have His people starting to worship a calf, calling it Yahweh. You have all these different commandments that go against it. I mean, everything they were doing was going against the commandments. And then they're saying, "Oh, Yahweh told us to do this. Yahweh told us to do that." Then you get to the book of Jeremiah. And the book of Jeremiah, God's like, hey, you did things in my name specifically. I did not command, neither did it enter my heart. And then he gives specifics. He's like, hey, you prophesied in my name. You burned your children to Baal, right? He's giving this discipline for the Israelites doing these things. And so like, when you look at the narrative and the message behind the Old Testament, it's like, were they doing this? Was God commanding this, or was this something that they were doing out of their own vanity of their own heart,
Well, I mean,
their own.
if you're going to Jeremiah, it was God.
Yeah, it was God's. He was like, hey, I never told you to do this.
No, no,
It's
no.
like,
I don't think you understood what I meant. I meant was it was obviously God doing those bad things. If you're talking about Jeremiah, because it's Jeremiah 19:9. Don't the Lord say from His own mouth, "I will cause them to eat the flesh of the sons and their daughters"?
yeah, at the time, yeah, it was in Jeremiah that they said that because that was one of their punishments. They didn't have any food. They put themselves in desolation. So like
Whoa, whoa,
ultimately when
whoa.
he's saying, I will cause them,
But
he didn't say I will
the
make
God's
them. He
looking
said I
down, and
will
He could think of a
cause
better
them.
way to take care of these people and feed them. And you're saying the way to do that was to have them eat their own kids.
I mean, would you feed people that already burned their children to Baal? I mean, would you be like, here's a couple sandwiches? Like, I'd be like, no, you're in trouble now, right?
Let me explain something to you, my man. And this comes from the love of my heart, man, because you sound like you're a cool dude. It's what's going on, man, is you're bending over backwards to make this make sense. You have to reach really far to try to make it make sense. You know what I mean?
I mean, it kind of, sort of, but in a sense, it's like it does make sense because the whole narrative we get to Jesus comes and he's like, hey, you call yourself Jews, but your hearts are far from me. And they're like, no, you're supposed to do it our way. And he's like, no,
Th-
I'm
there's
not doing it your
there's
way.
absolutely no way you've read that Bible and said it makes sense. There's no way.
Well, I mean, look, it doesn't make sense without Christ. Like, hey, why did Abraham have to go sacrifice his promised son?
Thank you for
Why
bringing
did
that up, my
why
man.
did Father Abraham have to go and sacrifice his promised son, his only son, right?
Yeah,
Or
because they was
promised son?
testing him, and he said, "Now I know you fear God." My man, this is disturbing to teach people that it's good. There's a red flag here. Something's going on.
It doesn't see, yeah, it does seem like a wicked thing to
No, it's
do.
not.
Like,
It
why would
doesn't
you tell
seem like
someone
it.
to do
It
that?
is. That's what I'm saying. It is disturbing, but people are trying to justify it and say, well, just like the image of Jesus on the cross, that's not a good thing. I don't care what any human being on this earth says.
I
That's
mean,
crazy that
it's a
people are
picture
turning
of
it around
sacrifice.
and trying to teach it as a good thing. That's a disturbing image for kids to see. That's horribly wrong. You know what I mean?
I mean, I get it. I don't specifically have crosses with Jesus on it. I have a cross, but I don't like the whole like Catholic way of, putting Jesus on there with the nails and stuff. I
S-
don't that's grotesque to me. I don't like that.
Well,
But
thank you for being open about that.
yeah.
Let me ask you something, man. You've probably been asked this before, but what do you think about all the other gods that were around 1,000, 2,000, 3,000 years before the Jesus guy?
Yeah, I believe that there are other gods in the sense of like, idol spirits and such. The Bible talks about that. Like not necessarily that to say like that their story is correct, like, Zeus and Thor, but there's a spirit behind it. Like Zeus, for instance, is a spirit of pride, and then you have Thor, the spirit of wrath. Yeah, it says men carry a spirit. They carry. It's like a god that they follow. Like, um,
Who is Zeus now, though? Who did Zeus turn into?
who does he turn into?
Yeah, Zeus is now Jupiter.
Yeah, yeah, and
So kind
I
of like
believe that
Jesus.
Zeus is,
Yeah,
yeah.
there was other characters just like Jesus before him. That's all across the board, and not to mention there are identical stories uh, thousands of years before the Jesus that lines up with him. The coming back from the dead, heralded by a star in the
Are you talking
east.
about Horus or something? What are you talking about
Horse is
specifically?
just one of many of them, but yes, I mean it's the
Yeah, that's not.
exact
You
same
said
identical story,
specific.
huh?
That's not specifically at all. It's talking about like um coming down from the sky and then being born into
No,
a
no, no,
woman or
no, no,
something
no.
crazy.
We're talking about Horus, 3000 BCE, the falcon-headed Egyptian god. He's got the
What
exact
was
same attributes and the exact same story as the Jesus. A star
what
heralded.
was that story? I tried to read that too. I know what you're talking about. And nothing really correlated.
Okay, so then you must be in denial because it's heralded by a star in the east, witnessed by three kings. Um,
Where was this?
what do you mean? Where was this? These are stories where this is where Jesus' story came from. That's how people know it, and that's what I'm saying.
It
There's
was
a
witnessed
thousand.
by three. I just want to know because like I'll look it up myself, the Three Kings thing. I didn't find that. I tried to read it myself.
No, it's the exact same identical story. If you, I'll tell you what, even better. There's a. Have you seen that movie, A Heretic, that came out about a year or two ago?
Oh no.
It's actually a
Mm-mm.
pretty good movie, man. You watch it. But he's in the movie describing that to these two little girls. He's like, look, this Jesus story you got. This was 1,000 years. This guy Horus over here, and then he's got Mithras, and then there's Dionysus. All these people got almost the exact same thing. Like they died. Some of them got crucified. Some of them came back 3 days later. A lot of them healed
Crucified.
people, had magic. It was all this. This was all around from a lot of different gods, thousands of years before Jesus. The Noah's flood was from the Epic of Gilgamesh.
Yeah, I've read the Epic of Gilgamesh. It's about like a giant and like this giant.
Yeah, no, 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 no. It's
And
a long story, but Epic Gilgamesh is just one little small story in that. And that's instead of the guys being named Noah, it's Unapishtim. And I think it was the god Enki or Enlil. And again, tell me if it sounds familiar. He goes to Unapishtim and whispers in his ear, "Hey, tear down your house, go build a boat, go get two of every animal. The world's going to flood." And then he did that, and he was the only survivor. That's what I'm saying. But that character turned into Noah once it got to Christianity. But I'm
I
saying
mean,
so
I
it
would
was.
I would like to read more on that. I tried to read it to get like I even asked ChatGPT. I was like, "Can you give me correlations between?" And like it gave me some stuff that was like it's kind of bizarre, but like there was some things, I ain't gonna lie, there were some things that seemed a little more, but like I never read that one. Like I never read about the go build a boat and then put animals in it.
Well,
In that,
and then actually after that, he came across another character, and he was tell me if this sounds familiar. Unapishtim came across another character, and he's like, "Look, I'm looking for eternal life. How do I get it?" And the character said, "I don't remember the character's name. I should." But he said, "Look, Unapishtim, go to the bottom of this little lake right here, and it's like a little, it's a piece of something. And if he goes down there and gets it, he gets eternal life." So he swam down and got it, and he came back up, and he falls asleep on the shore. Well, take a wild guess who slithers in. Notice I said slithers, and takes that artifact and leaves. A snake, as in like the serpent. You know what I mean? So that again, the snake was even used 1,000 years, 2,000 years before it was in the Adam and Eve thing, the garden. But
yeah,
yeah,
yeah. I see where you're coming from with that. I just don't like. I tried to get all the little bits and pieces of the things that would have correlated to the Bible, and I did read some that was kind of similar, but it did have a little bit more. It was different in the way it was written
well, of
and kind
course,
of
yeah,
the
because it's
details.
it's written over thousands of years. But I mean, like in the Bible it says Jericho was laid to waste, and it's not. Jericho's still there. So again, that's just one of the things. There's a lot of contradictions and a lot of lies and stuff. Now there are good things in the Bible. I'm a proud atheist,
Hmm.
and I hate admitting that, but I will be humble and honest. There are some good things in the Bible. I guess you could use as like poetry or whatever you want to say. But there's
There's
just
some dark poetry too, though. There's
there's
some
got to be
dark
an
stuff.
easier way. There's got to be a way of putting this book out to teach people without mentioning those disgusting and disturbing stories. There's just no need to mention these stories in detail. Like when he
Yeah,
says, "Hey,
I see where you're coming
for
from. Yeah.
instance, hey, he had to punish this guy, and I think it was David. David commanded him to cut off their hands and feet and then hang them. So instead of saying that, you could have just said David caught the people and he locked them up and gave them justice. You know what I mean? There's an
Yeah.
easier way to word these things. I mean, it's just again, it's very obvious that it was just old men who was writing that for fear and control. Very obvious. There's
Yeah,
just no
that could have
way.
very well been. The Old
Yeah, yeah,
Testament to me is just like a book of people doing terrible things and learning, hopefully learning from it. Because when Jesus came, he was like, "I'm gonna bring the revelation of that which was lost." That's why he's like, "You're the lost sheep of Israel," because you're lost. Like, what is lost? The prophets, the law, the meaning of it in general. And
yeah.
so he's like, "This is the true meaning of it."
But it's
You
still
know?
confusing with the Jesus thing though, because you know what I mean. Again, I'm going off claims. I'm going off, hey man, he loves you. He's all loving. He's all forgiving. So I get that. I got that in my back in my head. But then you hear the stories about when Jesus said, "Go do this and go slay these infants, and I'm gonna burn you in eternity just because you didn't believe in me." You know what I mean? It's
Oh,
just
you
like,
mean oh,
whoa,
okay.
wait a minute here. Like this character sounds like a 14-year-old bully in high school. You know what I mean? Like he's just full of
Well, he never
chaos.
said, Jesus never said that. He said, "You touch one of these children, it'd be better that you be dragged on the." I don't remember the exact
Well,
voice, but
no,
he
that's what I'm
talked
telling
about
you.
protecting.
No, that Jesus did say that. I can bring the verse up. It says, "I, the Lord, said, slay the infants." That's what I'm saying. There's just no getting around that. He said it out of his
Was
own
he
mouth.
was he paraphrasing the Old Testament? Because he's done that many a times.
Yeah, no,
A lot of times he'll
you're
paraphrase,
missing
then
my
he'll show
point
the true
though.
meaning.
Why is this all loving, all intelligent God? Why are these words coming out of his mouth at all? They shouldn't be. The sentence, "Hey, slay the infants," shouldn't be coming out of anybody's mouth for no reason at all. Period. There's no reason to mention that in the Bible.
Well, here's the thing. Remember when he spat on the ground and he healed the blind man? He spit on the ground, it says.
Yeah,
So what he would do is he would show the error first. He would be like, "Hey, this is what you would do to somebody who's crippled," because they would do that, and they still do it this day. They'll spit on the ground next to somebody who's not Israel, right? And so he spit on the ground to show them, "Hey, this is what you would normally do: spit on the ground." Well, I'm using the spit, putting it on this man's eyes, and I'm healing his vision,
with
right?
uh, just so we're on the same page, he's using his spit out of his mouth,
Mm-hmm.
and
Yeah.
my man, please
But
tell
do
me.
you see where I'm coming from? The context is that they would spit next to people that were they considered outside of Israel and people that were in lame condition because they felt like God was punishing them. And Jesus was showing them
Maverick, you're
their
reaching way
error.
too hard to make it make sense, man. If this Jesus is
That's what they
magical,
that's what he did.
no, no, no. Listen, if Jesus is magical, I'm going off the claims. If he's magical, There should be no spit involved. That's what, again, you're not
He's a
getting my point.
teacher.
No, no, no,
He's
no.
teaching them.
Again, all intelligent, all powerful, all knowing. That's what I'm saying. You got to think of a better way than spit. The word spit should not be mentioned at all, no matter what the context of it is. You're reaching way too hard to make it make sense,
I'm not
Maverick.
reaching. I'm just saying,
You
like, if
really are.
someone's
No, I
teaching
don't
me
have no problem
something,
with that. If we get off the phone and you still keep your belief, I don't have no
yeah,
problem
yeah,
with that, man. And like, especially if it gives you comfort and hope. Like I want that for you, Maverick.
yeah, but now
But
you're
I'm
kind of
saying when you're putting
deflecting a
the
little bit
argument on
from
the
what I'm
table,
saying, though.
it completely falls apart instantly because y'all are trying so hard to make it sense. I mean, you said when I mentioned him spitting, you said, well, he's
He
teaching.
did it more than once. He did it more than
Yeah, but
once. He would
it's
he would
like you're not
use he
hearing yourself.
paraphrase.
He's
He would
spitting.
paraphrase things that they would say. Like you would call this woman a dog. He was like, "I'm not giving my bread to the dogs." That's how they would see it. And then what did he do? He would heal the woman, right? Because he would show them first their error. He was a teacher.
My
He's
man.
teaching
But
them
he's
what they were doing
again.
wrong.
If this was a regular human being with not magical, your story would make perfect sense. I'd be on board with you. This is a magical being. If it's magic,
Well, it's not
why do you
magical.
need
Just get Disney
spit?
out of our heads, man. I
Listen,
know we
no,
all watch Disney movies from the age of 5 to 12.
do
But
what?
we don't. It's not magic, bro. God's not a genie, man. I know I've watched probably 16 or more plus Disney movies from the age of five
So
to
now,
12.
guys, I
Some
was going off
kind
the
of Disney
claims
movie.
because I've had numerous religious people and people who believe in
It's not
God tell me that he
magic.
is magic. So now you're saying all those people are wrong.
Magic is from Disneyland. All right.
Okay, so correct me if I'm wrong. You're saying all those people that told me God is magic and he heals people, they're all wrong, yes or no?
No, I'm saying that when you use that word, you're drawing back. We all have been there, bro. I've watched Beauty and the Bestiality. I've watched all
My
these
man,
crazy
you're the one who
satanic
believes in the
movies.
Disney fairy tale. I'm confused.
No, I don't. That's why we don't understand the
You just said
character of God.
this all intelligent character you spit. Why would he need spit?
Because we don't understand the character of God because we watch too many damn Disney
You don't
movies, bro.
understand the
That's my
character of
take
God.
on it.
My man, I don't think nobody understands
We think
nothing
he's
about God.
genie, man.
Nobody understands anything about this God. So I would be okay with saying that.
Well, we don't. He's not a genie, obviously,
No,
right?
we don't even know if it's a he. These are giant, arrogant claims that humans are making. Giant, arrogant claims.
I'm just saying it's something to think about. Like maybe the reason we can't understand the character of God is because we watched all these fantasy, Marvel
Yeah, but again,
and
all you're
Disney,
doing
and
is justifying all the evil and the hate that's in the Bible, and you're trying your best to just kind of just make it make sense. That's really all you're doing, Maverick.
well, I think that there is a ultimate truth to it and an understanding,
To the Bible,
and yeah, absolutely.
you're in denial, Maverick. That Bible is horrible. And that's what I'm saying. Every verse I
Forgiveness
point
isn't
out, you
horrible.
keep saying that I'm taking it out of context. That's y'all all use the exact same argument. If I point out a bad verse, y'all say I'm taking it out of context.
Well,
So
I mean, you can't. Not respectfully, you kind of are. That's why I'm trying to
no.
explain it to you.
Here's where I would, and I've explained this numerous times. Here's where I would be taken out of context. If I pulled something out of the middle of a paragraph and it said he hit this guy in the face with a bat, and you said, John, like there could have been a reason. Somebody could have broken into his house and threatened his family. Then I would agree, Maverick. I would say you're right. I took it out of context. I need to read what before and after. But it's not. It's not like y'all not hearing me though. When it comes to like an infant being punished or unalived, there is no context. There's no justification.
No, you're right.
That's
Those
my
were
point.
those
So that's what I'm
were
saying.
individuals doing
It
things in
shouldn't
God's
even be
name, like it
mentioned.
says in
And that's what I'm
Jeremiah.
saying. When it says David cut off the hands and their feet, blah blah blah, there's no reason to mention that at all. Period. You could say David caught those people did a bad thing. David caught up with them. He locked them up, and justice was served. See, kids, so don't mess up because you go to jail and justice will be served.
I see,
You don't need to
like
go to
in
the
the
point.
sense of kids being like watching, like listening to this stuff. You mean like reading it
Well, I mean, like I
and
said,
it's kind of
my
gruesome.
opinion, nobody should be reading it and nobody should be preaching it to people. I think I'm gonna be real with you. I think people are in denial when they read the Bible and then they just try to dance around and say, "Well, you took it out of context. This means this." Because on one hand, you're going, "No, I know what God means. I'm in the mind of God. I know what He meant when He said this. I do." But on the other hand, y'all say, "Oh, I don't know what happened on there. I don't know why He didn't help that kid. I don't know the mind of God." It can't be both. You know what I
Well, what
mean?
I'm saying is that they were doing things in His name, like it says in Jeremiah, that He didn't command. We don't necessarily know exactly what those things were, but we know
Right, right. So,
that the reason Christ
so
came.
when I brought Jeremiah 19:9 up and said, "I, the Lord, are going to make y'all eat the flesh of your sons and your daughters," you said I took it out of context. And what did you say again? Tell me.
No, I didn't say He took it out of context. That's exactly what they had to do. But He didn't say, "I'm going to make you." He said, "I will cause you to."
Right, because
right?
they did something bad, right?
Yeah, burning children to Baal, burning them.
Right,
Yeah.
right. No, I'm with you, but I'm saying there's no reason if this God is all loving and all merciful. You see what I'm saying? He's because again,
Well,
you're
it's like a
saying
father's love. A father don't like, oh, you just do whatever you want, son. Like that's not what how a
yeah, but
father
Maverick, you said
loves his
y'all sound
son.
crazy when you say that because you're saying he should go to the extent of doing this to punish him this hard and heavy. That's
It's heavy,
insane.
yeah. It is. It's
That's
heavy
what I'm saying,
duty.
man. We got to let go of this. This is overboard insanity.
Yeah, I
Because
see. I mean, I see
he's
why you were
either all
looking
if he's
into it
all
and you think
loving,
that.
he
Yeah.
can't be saying, "Hey, I'm going to cause you to eat your children." That's what I'm saying. That doesn't match up. Now, if you want to say John, technically he's not all loving. He's mostly all loving. Then maybe, just maybe, I might agree with you. But when you say
When you
all
when
loving,
you
all
when you
intelligent,
put
all power,
loving in the category of all authority,
what's
like
that?
you're also the ultimate authority over all creation,
But
and you're loving.
what does or if I asked you what all powerful means, what does that mean?
It means you can do the maximum of what can be done in reality, right? In the
I
reality
mean,
of
the
what we know
definition
and
of all
don't know.
powerful is that you can do anything. You're all powerful. That's why it says
Not in
all.
our imagination, bro. Like again, we're going back to Disney again. Like he can't make everyone into little pink bunny rabbits, right?
Maverick. So here's the thing, man. I've been trying to be nice and respectful. You keep talking about we're watching the Disney. You're the one that believes in the Disney
We
fairy
all
tale.
were, bro. We all were.
No, I don't
And it's
believe in the
satanic.
Maverick.
We all know that
Listen
now.
to me. I'm an atheist. I don't believe in the fairy tale that you do. That's what I'm trying to explain to you. You're the one that believes in a Disney fairy tale. You believe in a 2,000-year-old coloring book. But you keep bringing us saying we're
Well, what I'm
smart.
saying is that the reason we can't understand a creator, right, which is only logical, is
But you're
because
saying you can.
we've been seasoned by all these dang Disney movies to think that anything that's metaphysical and any properties of metaphysics
Right. So then don't make
are
claims then. Don't make claims to
Disneyland.
know the mind of the creator of the universe. Listen to how that sounds out of your mouth.
Yeah, that's the only logical
No.
explanation.
You didn't hear
Nothing.
me. I'm saying don't make a claim to know that you know the mind of the creator of the effing universe. I'm just
I
gonna keep
I
using the
don't
same.
know the mind of him. No, I
Nobody
don't
does,
know
and we
his
need to
whole
stop claiming
mind.
that we do. You
Yeah, I
see,
mean, I get it, man. I'm just saying like this is my perspective and I mean I think that we've all kind of been duped a little bit
no,
by,
my man, one more
you
time. The
know.
Disney has nothing to do with the way I look at God, religions, and prayers. Now, maybe other people do. Maybe I don't think they do, but I'm saying me personally,
Yeah, I'm not saying that.
it has
I'm just
nothing.
saying that.
Me has nothing to do with the whole Disney thing. I'm going off of claims. I'm always hearing about these claims. That's what I'm going off of. But again, my man, it's very clear. Like I said, I was trying to meet you halfway. If I pull that
Yeah, yeah.
sentence out in the middle and it says he hit the guy in the face with a stick, I would agree with you that there's more to that. Maybe the guy broke in his house and he had to hit the guy on the stick to protect his family. See, I'm with you on that. But again, when it's just
Yeah.
word for word, I the Lord said, slay the infants. We got to stop reaching and try to dance around that, my man. I mean, it's crazy how people go to the lengths of trying to justify that. Well, maybe God did this. Maybe He said that. He's all loving, and if He's
Yeah.
all powerful, He could have lifted those chariots of iron too. I know that I remember that verse too. God cannot lift the chariots of iron. Then He's not all powerful. It doesn't match up with that claim.
I mean, I believe that he loves us enough not to destroy us because that's what he would have had to have done.
No, but I was talking about I was saying He's obviously not all powerful because it said God could not lift the chariots because they were made from iron.
Where does it say that? I don't
Maverick,
know this.
Maverick.
Sorry, I don't know this
No,
verse.
don't. No, I'm saying maybe you're not, but I feel like you're setting me up like everybody else does because if I point out the verse, you're going to say, well, it doesn't mean that, or maybe. So it's kind of unfair to ask me to point out the verse.
Yeah, that's true. I mean, ultimately, I'd probably be like, wow, it does say that. And then I'd look into it. But I probably wouldn't be able to
No,
interject on that
I
until I
get you.
did.
I get you looking into it when it's out of context, but when it's word for
Sure.
word. So let me try it this way, man. Let me try one more thing. Let's say I open the newspaper and we go to this article, and I take my finger and I point right in the middle, and I show you where to look and read. And you go, what? And you read the little sentence where it says, this guy kidnapped a little girl, took her in a basement, did this to her, did the most awful things to her, right? Are you going to say the
Hmm.
same thing? Or are you going to say, John, we should read what came before that? I'm hoping you wouldn't.
Well, I do have a very different perspective on how I see the message of the Old Testament than
No, no,
many
no.
Christians.
I was seeing if I can get a yes or no. You
Yeah, I
probably
would be like, no, that's absolutely not right. That's
so
terrible.
back to when it says, "I, the Lord, slay the infant." It doesn't matter the context before or after. Or when he says, is it in Genesis or Exodus? He says, "I will punish your children's children to the third and fourth generation." That's what I'm saying. People keep reaching and trying to make that make sense. It says what it says. It's going to
Yeah.
punish
I just feel
children.
like if it has a final chapter, it's a book ultimately. It has
No,
a
no, no,
final
no.
chapter.
Again, as I'm saying, you're doing it again. The children have nothing to do with anything, my man. Why are they getting punished? Children who haven't been born yet are going to be born and be punished for something that their dad did. Do you think that's right? Yes or no?
I personally, as a person like you, don't think it's right. But I
So what?
can't, like I said, I don't know the mind of God and I don't understand his ways
So,
completely.
but no, but you're okay with it because if you wasn't okay with that, if see, like me, I look at it and go, hey, if that God's punishing innocent children, I'm not going to sit here and dance around and justify it. I'm walking away. You're staying and going, hey, there's got to be some reason. That's what I'm saying, man.
Yeah,
You shouldn't want to know the reason when it comes to innocent kids. Key
because I
word.
feel like the importance of having
Oh,
faith in a
Maverick,
creator,
man,
I do.
buddy,
I feel like it's super important. Purpose,
man,
bro.
you're
What's our
reaching
purpose?
you're reaching so heavy, man. I'm bringing up kids, innocent
I
kids,
know, but I'm just saying,
and you're
what's
just
our
going, I
purpose
know, but there's a reason
ultimately?
for it. I mean,
Either we're overgrown
so
bacteria that,
do you have any
you know,
kids?
I do. I have a 3-year-old.
Okay, so if your 3 year old or if your 3 year old grows up and he's 21, you go out and do
Yeah,
something,
don't say, okay,
huh?
go ahead. No, I'm just, yeah,
So you go out
just
and do
don't, I
something.
mean, don't say nothing like, about,
Oh no, I'm not gonna say nothing disrespectful.
yeah,
I
okay.
promise you that, man. I'm not like that. I'm not like that. But I'm saying they grow up and they're a grown adult and they're over here staying in the house minding their own business. You go out and do something horrible to somebody, man. Something very very horrible, uncalled for. All right, and you get locked up. Yes or no?
Mhm.
Do you think they should go to your kid and lock your kid up and punish your kid? Yes or no?
No, but my kid would definitely suffer if I did.
Right, but your kid has nothing to do with it, so your kid shouldn't be punished, correct?
Yeah, he shouldn't be punished the same way I
That's
am.
what I'm trying to tell you on the God thing. God's saying, I'm going to punish these kids. I'm trying to tell you, these kids didn't have nothing to do with anything. You just said it yourself. Your
Yeah,
kids
but
shouldn't be
that's kind
punished.
of a reality thing. Like in reality, they will be punished regardless. Like
No,
they're
no,
going to now not have their
I'm talking about
father.
for, as far as your crime. Like I said,
Right.
these people in the Bible committed a crime. They believed in the wrong gods, I believed. One of the verses was. So if God said, you believed in the wrong gods, I'm going to punish your kid when he's born. That's what I'm saying,
Yeah,
man.
I get that perspective. I
Then
do get that perspective.
it's really hard for me to believe that y'all really believe in that God who's threatening innocent kids who have nothing to do with anything. When these kids are born, they're going to be unalived because of nothing they did out nothing.
Yeah, I'm not
See
even like
that?
I said, I'm not even sure if that was God or
No,
that
it
was man.
was. That's what I'm saying. But I'm not going to point out the verse because you won't acknowledge it. And you already admitted
No,
it.
you could pull up the verse, but like I said, the
You
book of
won't
Jeremiah
acknowledge it.
kind of
So
explains
and
it.
I'm not saying you, but I've did it hundreds of times. I was like, all right, let me go get it. Jeremiah 13, 14, or whatever the verse was. These two kids are going to get their dad drunk and lay with him. And they go, it don't mean that. And I'm like, it says it word for word. And they go, oh, well, it really don't mean that. So it's almost it's at your convenience. If it says, I, Jesus, love you, you're going to say that's what it really means, right? Exactly. But if it says something about, I, the Lord, are going to slay these infants who have did nothing wrong, you'll try to justify it to make it make sense. That's what I'm saying, my man. Y'all got to reach too hard to make this make
Yeah, I,
sense.
I see I see Christians doing that. I do. I see them reaching. I just put it in the perspective of like how we put death as individuals and human beings is that it's a terrible final thing, and that there's nothing after that. And so I guess ultimately I feel like, yeah, obviously they died, right? And that's a terrible thing, but I don't know where God kept them after that.
Yeah,
Did he take
that's
them up?
irrelevant because remember, again, I'm gonna keep saying I'm off the claims. It's an all powerful, all loving, all forgiving, all intelligent God. There's got to be a better way to have these kids be born, get kidnapped, and go through all that stuff in the basement. Because I mean, you can imagine the fear in their little heart, my man. I mean,
Yeah, I
if that
know.
was me in this
There's got to be a
position,
better place. There's got to
no,
be a better
no.
place
There's got to
than
be a
this.
better plan because this thing is all loving, all intelligent, all forgiving, all powerful. There's got to be a better way to make these kids be born and have them kidnapped, have all those things done to them, And then when they get unalive, have somebody say, well, maybe got to make up for it in heaven. No, we got to stop. This is
But what if
crazy.
the only answer was to destroy us all? What if that's the only answer God could do? He had to uproot us
My man,
completely and
you
take
keep
us out of
missing
the
you keep
picture.
missing it when I say God's all loving, all powerful, all intelligent. There's a better way to do all this right now if this God is all intelligent and all powerful.
Yeah, I
I'm
believe that
going
he
off the
is.
claims. That's what I'm doing.
No, I get what you're saying. Like when you say that, there's that holds a lot of weight. There's a lot of different avenues we can go with that.
Not
Like when you say all
that's you
knowing,
just trying
all
to make it make
powerful.
sense. That's real. That's what that is.
Well, I'm just saying I'm leaving it open to like I don't know the what that actually means. What does that even mean ultimately? Like, does that mean the maximum of what can be done in reality, or does that
No,
mean
it's it's it's
he
it's
can do
it's, it's
anything?
easy. It's easy, man. I'm going to use a Marvel character, and I don't believe in it. It's just hypothetical. But if we had a Marvel character and everybody was going, he's all powerful. He can do anything. He can beat up any of the other characters. He can do anything. If everybody kept making these claims, and then we watch an episode where he just gets demolished by somebody, or he goes to lift something and can't do it, you have to agree we're all going to kind of, again, I know it's a little cartoon or a Marvel thing, but we are going to look at that and go, wait a minute, he's obviously not all powerful. If he was all powerful, he could lift that building. He could do this. He could beat that. He could beat anybody. He's all powerful. That's what that definition is.
So that's the verse you came across when you decided to be an atheist, or was it?
The verse I
You're
came
like, well,
across.
he can't lift it. He couldn't lift the chariots or
Oh man,
whatever.
wow, you're light years off. Yeah, that's
I'm just asking because like it's a
no,
very
no. I was
specific
giving you an
verse.
answer. Years off on the reason why my
Okay. No, I know why you would.
uh.
I just I choose God ultimately.
But see, that's
I
that's the
think
difference, and it's
I
okay.
just do.
It's okay if you do, my man. I don't like again. Let me clarify something. I don't want to like again. I want
Yeah,
you to have those beliefs if that's what you want to do. Okay, but
I
is
respect your belief.
there's two people in the world. There's one person who's going to see what that God is allowing, and they're going to try their best to justify it and make it make sense. Then you're going to have the other person who's going to look at that child, what she's going through, and say, "End of story. I don't care." If there's some kind of God, human, anybody looking at that little girl and not stopping it, I'm done. I don't want to hear it. I don't want to hear it. You see what I'm saying? And
Yeah,
I'm
yeah.
one of those people. I'm one of those
That's
people that's
I
like,
get
I
that.
don't even want to
I
hear
respect
why.
that.
You know what I mean? Because if you walk past a child getting hurt in the alley and didn't do nothing, didn't try to stop it, didn't call the cops, we would be coming after you, right? We would be judging
I get
you,
it.
ridiculing you.
Doesn't seem like justice, it doesn't.
That's what I'm
I
saying.
just I just I'm open-minded to the extent of like it's terrible. I don't agree with it, but it doesn't mean I don't agree with the fact that there may be a God out there that does care in a specific way that we don't understand.
Yeah, but it
And it
just
doesn't seem loving,
but I'm saying
you know.
when if you close your eyes and picture what that little girl's going through right now, this very moment in that basement,
Yeah, I yeah, I
it's
can't.
real.
If I sat there and think about that, I'd lose my mind.
Well,
I
that's what I'm
couldn't
saying, man.
couldn't do
I
that.
had these. I have to actually go talk to somebody because the images like this in my head. So you
Yeah,
can imagine how bad that is for me, but how worse it is when somebody walks up and says, "John, actually, my God was watching that happen," and I'm like, "Well, wait a minute. What do you mean? Why didn't he stop it?" John, don't be silly. He works in mysterious ways, and that starts making me go more crazy because it's everybody's trying to justify why.
I
Because we
get
just
it.
said if it was me or you watching, there's no excuses. We just said that we agreed. But then when it's come to the God, he gets a free pass. It's a cop out. Well, since he's a God, we don't know the reasons. I just find that disturbing, man. We're justifying it. Anything or
No, yeah, I
anybody,
get it.
any kind of
It's like
God.
trust me, I'm a Christian man. You don't think I've been mad at God?
Yeah, but
I've
that's what I'm
been mad
saying,
at
man. You
God.
don't. If it's fear leading to your God, I don't think that's good, man. If it's love, I'm with you.
It's
But
a lot of things.
it sounds
It's
like
not
it's
just
fear. It
fear.
sounds like because you know all the things he's doing and he's allowing, and you're still believing. That to me sounds like fear. You're kind of like, and I'm not saying it to be sarcastic, man. I think
No,
a
it's
lot.
not only fear though, man. It's a gray area. It's there is some fear of God, but there's also, hey, God has also done some good things in my life.
Whoa, whoa, whoa!
We've
Just
been
stop, Maverick.
experiencing.
You're proving my point, my man. Let me explain it to you real quick. I just I just put that image of that little girl in your head. I just put that image in
Yeah.
your head, and you admitted how disturbing that was,
Well, let me
and then
put an image
you
of
jumped right over it and said, "Well, but he does good things too." This is the
holding your child. What about the
this
image of holding your child,
no, no.
your
I'm
wife
saying what's
being
going on
pregnant?
is this is poisoning people's brains because again they're reaching so hard to make it make sense, and it's making them sound crazy. Because again,
Do you believe it?
what if
Think of something good. Think
no,
of something good
listen.
that he can do.
The pedo the pedophile. I can't say it on TikTok. the pedophile who did that to that little
Mm-hmm.
kid. What if I justified that? What would you think of me? What if I said, "No, Maverick,
Yeah,
listen,
that's
man,
true.
listen, listen, Maverick, maybe he did it because of this, or maybe he thought if he did that, then in the next life this will happen." What would you think of me if I did that? You would think
I
something's
get it.
off.
I would actually like. I'm gonna have questions. You know.
No, no. What I'm saying is, as
I'm definitely gonna have
I'm hoping you would
questions.
go, John. You are a lunatic. Wake up. I'm hoping that's what you would do to me, and that's what I'm saying. But I can't call you a lunatic because you've been super cool the whole time. You've been really cool
Well,
and
because like I
respectful.
said, man, I feel like God has done so many good things too, man.
After I
To
just,
me.
but after him watching the little girl go through that, not stopping, you're gonna brush that off and say, yeah, but anyways, do good stuff.
Well, that's why, I know I'm justifying it, but I feel like then
I
he
mean, at
would have
least
just
you're
had to
open minded
destroy
about
us
it,
all.
man.
He'd have to
I'll give you
destroy us
that.
all.
You,
And
you,
he destroyed himself instead. He would have had to destroy all of us and say, I'm done with you. And instead,
he didn't have to
he
destroy
destroyed
anybody.
himself.
God didn't have to need to send his son down and have that done to him, my man. Again, this God is all intelligent. That doesn't match up with the claim. Oh, he's all intelligent. So what's your plan? Well, here's the blueprint I came up with. I'm going to send my own son down and have him beat to death and spit on and just tortured. Can you imagine the look everybody looked at this? If that was possible, everybody's probably looking at this guy going, "What is wrong with you? Like, what do you mean you need to send your son? This is crazy." You see what I'm saying? I'm just trying to get people to wake
Yeah.
up, man. This is crazy. This is crazy.
Because, you feel like, he could have honestly just done it different.
He,
But I
he
look at it from the extent of like, maybe we had to see that so that we could see our sin.
Yeah,
So we could see
there's
that
no,
there's something wrong with us.
there's no need. There's just it's just uncalled for. Remember, all loving God, an all loving parent is, to me, an all loving parent is, hey, come here, don't you do that no more. Give me your hand. Kind of tap their hand, smack, teach them wrong. But it wouldn't be good for me to pick up the kid and throw him down the stairs, or
Well, he
hit
did go
him
to
with.
heaven.
You don't want to take it that far. You know what I mean? Because that would not be all loving and all forgiving.
He took him up into heaven, and he's in a beautiful paradise now.
What did that little girl have to go through to get to heaven?
I know it's terrible. I get it.
But
Trust
you
me,
still follow the God who
I
allowed
get
it
it.
to happen.
I don't look at it from that perspective. You
No,
know that.
but that's
I look
that
at it
is
from
the
the
only
perspective
perspective.
of either destroy us all, we don't exist anymore, because that's how God does it. He uproots it from the root, or he took it upon. He didn't want to do that for whatever reason, even though there was all this terrible sin going on. He didn't want to do that. Every time I go in the refrigerator and I eat a hamburger, if God stopped me, I wouldn't be too happy because it's bad for me.
But again, you don't think there's nothing wrong with that picture that if
I
God,
think there is
no,
absolutely
no, hold
something
on, let me
wrong with
explain what
that.
I
Yeah.
mean. If God's looking down, I use this all the time. If God's looking down over everything and everybody all at the same time, and He can reach into anybody and help answer prayers, He's looking at you in your refrigerator, looking for a sandwich. Let's be real about this.
He jumps
You
down and
no,
stops.
no, 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 no. You're not in the basement kidnapped. You're not being drowned. You're not going through any of these awful things. You're in your peaceful home looking for a sandwich. You got the kid in the basement. I'm hoping you'll acknowledge this. So he's
No, I
looking
get
down
it.
at
I
both
get
of
what you're
y'all,
saying.
and this all loving, all powerful, all intelligent God chooses to help you with your sandwich. He wants to
Yeah,
intervene and use his
I get
time,
it.
and he chooses you. You don't see anything wrong with that picture.
I do see, like I said, I do see a whole lot of things wrong. And you know what? Those people that do that, they get their ultimate punishment, and it's eternal, and it's forever.
Who are you talking about?
The people that do that to
No, no,
kids
no.
go to
No, you
a
didn't get it.
burning inferno for
No,
eternity.
you just completely missed what I was trying to say. I'm saying God can reach in and help somebody. He can help you with the sandwich or stop that little girl from being, you know what?
Well, that's what I'm saying. Like I said, I don't
Hold
really
on. If
understand the
it's
concept if he
simple.
can or not.
It's simple. If he's looking at both of y'all and he chooses you to help with a sandwich, there's no justifying that. That's very disturbing.
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying.
No,
And
yeah.
you decide to kind of justify it and say, man, well, maybe it's because of this, maybe it's but you're more welcome too, man. Everybody's got their free
Well, what
prerogative.
is it going to be? Is it going to be that I try to justify it in some way because I feel the importance of understanding that there is an ultimate authority over us for
What? No,
justifying anything,
with a little
or I
girl.
just decide to
You
be an
think there's a
atheist and not believe
so
in
there's a
anything?
point to the little girl going through that.
I just believe there's a point that there's an ultimate truth overall, over
Wow.
everything. I no, there's no point to that. Heck no.
Hmm.
There's no point. There's no point to sin. It's disgusting and
Again,
ugly.
if that's what I'm saying, if it's an all loving God watching, as I'm saying, a minute ago we agreed about me and you and Charlie and Melissa and everybody. If y'all walk past that little girl in that alley and don't help her call the cops, You are wrong. You're a horrible person. It's the same exact thing with the God. Because, see, we didn't know that God was watching. But then I got the verse where it says, the Lord's eyes are in every place, beholding the good and the evil.
Would you rather then have God
So,
create us
no,
in more of a
does
way
that,
that He can just make us do whatever He wants
Maverick,
us to do?
every time I bring up a good point, man, you're not answering it. So what I'm
Go
saying
ahead.
is, so if, because the Bible says it, the eyes of the Lord are in every place, beholding the good and the evil. So now we know for a fact He's watching that little girl do that or go through that. And when He doesn't stop it, instead of us being a normal human being with a heart and going, hey, you seen that and didn't stop it? That's crazy. I don't want to do with you. These grown adults are going, hey, well, I don't know. I still believe in you, God. Even though you watched her. Who do you realize what when guys have that stuff on the computer, they get locked up for that when they're watching little kids on their computer, right?
Yeah. Do you believe that? And
No, no,
I'm
no. Hold
just
on, hold
gonna,
on. So
gonna follow up with what you said.
you keep running from it. So your God is
I'm not
watching.
running from it.
So, but your God is watching, yes or no? It says it in the Bible that
Yes,
He
He
is.
is. But I'm gonna say
Oh
this.
my
Do you
gosh,
believe,
that's crazy,
dude? I
Maverick.
get what you're saying, bro. I get what you're saying.
Yeah, no, you're
I'm not
agreeing, but then you're still believing in
deflecting
the
at
God,
all.
justifying it.
I'm not justifying it. I'm simply saying that you believe if
If
we all
there's a
lived like
reason
Christ,
for it,
that we
that's
would
called
do that.
justifying it.
If we all lived like Christ, would we do those things?
My man, if you're saying maybe this, maybe that, because of this, that is the little definition of justifying it. That's what I'm trying to explain to
I
you.
mean, I know. I'm just saying that if we all lived like Christ, if that seems like a good thing, right? Hey, we all live like Christ. We're not going to be doing this stuff. So then maybe He's leaving it in our hands. He's like, here, live like me, like I said in the beginning, and
Maverick,
die with my blood,
one more time,
or
my man.
continue to do these terrible
One
things
more
and go to
time.
hell.
He's looking down at you and looking down at the little girl. He chose you with a sandwich over the little girl trapped in the basement. Let's stick to that. That's what I'm
He
trying to
doesn't
figure out.
choose
You
me
keep
over the
running from
sun.
that.
I know what you're saying. It's terrible.
It's terrible that He chose you
It's
with your
terrible
sandwich over the girl, right? So you're proving my point. You're agreeing to that how disturbing it is, but you're still going to follow that God who watched that little girl go through that.
because if we all lived like Jesus, we wouldn't do that. So there's got to be a standard to how we live our life in this
Maverick,
the
with
will
all
that
due
we have is
respect,
we have
brother,
free will,
with all
man.
due
We have
respect,
free
you're
will.
in 100% denial. You're
I'm not in
reaching for it
denial
too
that that's
hard.
an
No, you
evil
really are,
thing.
man. You're sitting here going, I know my God watched that little girl go through that. And if this guy did it, he gets locked up and go to jail. I know. But I just think there's a reason for that. And that's
No, I didn't say there were the reason is that sin is absolutely terrible.
you said if
And
we
then
all
if we
follow
all
Jesus, we
continue in
wouldn't
it,
you
we're
said
going to
if we all
continue
follow
to do these
Jesus, we wouldn't
terrible
do that.
things.
Right?
Yeah,
Okay, but
right.
that's a huge lie because
So
you
what's
know
your standard?
no, no,
What's
no,
going to
listen.
help?
How many
Going to
priests
help?
have how many priests that believe in a God? Priests believe in a God, right? They believe in Jesus?
Yeah, I just want to see like what is your action?
No,
What actions are you going to take to
every time
help
I
you
bring up a good point,
through?
Maverick, you won't answer it, man. You're making it too obvious
Yeah, I
now.
see what you're saying. I see what you're
So
saying.
so so a priest believes in God, and how many kids have been molested by priests and pastors? People who believe in a God.
Yes, but also in
No, 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 not
Hollywood, they do
also.
too.
You
Yeah.
just said if we follow Jesus, we wouldn't do that stuff. Those priests are following Jesus and they're molesting kids.
They're not following the ways of Jesus if they're doing those things. I'm saying if we can actually follow the ways of
See, you're
Jesus
proving my
and be
point, my
like
man.
Christ.
You just said if we use Jesus, we wouldn't do this. Well, those priests are using Jesus, and you're trying
They're
to
not
dance around
using
that.
Jesus, they're using
Oh my
man-made
goodness.
religion.
You're
We know
trying.
that.
You're trying. You got to try too hard to make the puzzle to make the pieces fit, man. That's what you're not seeing. Well, I think you do see it. I just don't think you want to
I
admit it.
do see it. I do see it, but I'm not, it doesn't mean that I'm going to change because I believe that what's your standard? You give me a better standard than Christ to try to keep people from doing these things, and then I'll say, okay, like
Maverick,
what is the goal here?
now you're
What's
to the
the
point where you're
action?
not
Let's take
acknowledging
action.
any. Now you're to the point where you're not acknowledging anything I'm saying, my man. So I don't know if I don't know if I should
No, I
answer you.
am. I'm just saying, give me
I
something.
just did, and you ran around it, Maverick. You said if we
So
use
then I should
Jesus,
be an atheist, and
no.
then what? It's
Listen,
still going to happen. It's still going to
you said
happen.
your argument was if we use Jesus and believe in Jesus, we wouldn't do these things. You said yes. So then I brought up the millions and millions of time a priest, pastor, or
They
somebody.
don't follow Jesus,
Listen to
bro.
me. You saying use Jesus? They believed in a Jesus. Now you're saying they really didn't.
Not just
You're
believe it. I'm
reaching
talking
way
about
too
following
hard.
the principles of
You're
Christ.
reaching way too hard, Maverick. My goodness, man. If you have to reach
I
this
know.
hard, it's you shouldn't believe
What
it.
do you got? What else are we going to do?
What do you
Who else
mean?
are we going to follow? to
There,
try to
no,
stop
no, there
babies.
is nothing to follow. We're humans. We're stuck on our own. We have to try to find some way to stop these people from doing it to the kids. Anything else is out of our control. But you can't say, John, my imaginary thing that I made up in my head that's floating above us is better. That's overboard insanity, Maverick.
I
I
mean,
can't even see this thing that you're talking
forgiveness,
about. There's
things
no
like
proof of it,
that.
and you're being arrogant, saying it's better than my view. I'm willing to say we both have a bad view on morals. The last guest who was a Christian, believed in a God, was open minded.
You can say we're in the same boat because yeah, everything you're saying to me makes me sick. You know, to think about. Think, why wouldn't God? Yeah, I
Maverick,
get it.
I don't believe you when you say that because you're saying it makes you sick. And then you're saying, but I'm still going to believe in
But
a
I
God.
don't know any other. What is the other standard to live
It's
by?
very simple.
Forgiveness. You know, like
Would you follow like a father who treated his son bad like that, who like beat him and left him all that? Would you still follow that father? You would criticize that father. That's what I'm saying. You should leave that father. You should walk away from that.
and
It's
then what?
actually the right thing to do. If that thing is watching that little girl go through that, not stopping it, you should not be making up excuses. And that's what I'm saying. That's what you're not getting. There's no excuse for that if somebody's watching that happen to a little girl and not stopping it. There's no excuse.
So that's how. I mean, ultimately, if I said that to myself, then yeah, I would walk away. And
Maverick, again, let me clarify, my man, because again, you have been super cool, man. So how about we just end it on this? If you believe in a God, man, it gives you comfort and hope. Just roll with it, Maverick. That's what I want for you. Okay, I don't want to take that from you.
yeah, hey man, I respect what you believe, and I see where you're coming from. Let's just put it that way. I do see that.
And I
But I'm
appreciate
gonna
that, man.
have questions. I'm gonna have some real solid questions
Well, just
when I
remember
get
though,
there.
if that pedophile came up to me and you was like, "Hey, can I tell you why I did that to the little girl?" We would not want to know the reason.
Well, first of all, he'd be screaming because he wouldn't be with us.
Me and you would be
He'd
on
be
it.
screaming. He's screaming up at us right now, actually,
Yeah, well, me and
so
you would
we
be
can
on
feel
that
comfort.
guy. But I'm saying we would not want to know the reason though. That's what I'm trying to say. If that sick person
No,
said,
you're
"Can I
right.
tell you why I did that to the little girl?" Me and you would say, "I don't want to hear it.
Yeah,
I'm
yeah,
walking
you're
away
right.
from you. I don't want nothing to do with you." So, but yeah,
I
but
hear you on that, man.
Maverick, you were super cool, man, and I apologize if I kind of came off too hard or
No,
aggressive or
it's cool,
something.
man. I like that. Go ahead. Speak your truth, bro.
Well,
That's all
yeah,
that
but I
matters.
don't want to. I don't want to. My intention is not to disrespect somebody or hurt their feelings or anything. That's not my intention, man. So,
No, it's heavy stuff. You got to talk about it. There's nothing
exactly,
wrong with that.
exactly. Well, Maverick, you were super
All
cool,
right,
man.
man.
I'm on every day. I try to go live every day, sometimes at night. Come back again, man.
I will. I will. Thank you, bro. Have a good one.
Yes, sir. You too.
Later.
Maverick sounded like a good guy. He was really cool, man. Like I said, I kind of felt bad because I felt like maybe I went too aggressive at him. But he's right. You know, you get worked up when you're talking about stuff like that. But yeah, he wasn't he, Blue? He was a good guy. Sorry, guys.